When you take a step back and look at the UK as a whole, just going about your day-to-day life, walking down the street, taking public transport, observing people in public, on the roads, you look around yourself and you realize how depressed everyone actually is. How profoundly unsatisfied 99% of people are with the lives they live and the realities they face every single day from the very moment they open their eyes in the morning. You get on the train, the bus, the tube, everyone's moody, everyone's a zombie, bro. No one wants to be there. People are unhealthy, tired, 6 feet eye bags, skin diseases, unhygienic. You drive on the road, it's packed with people who are so worked up and frustrated with their own individual thoughts, so they project it onto other drivers with spiteful and anger motivated maneuvers. You go to school, everyone's dead. At your workplace, everyone hates it. The teachers of the schools do their best, but most of the time hate it all. So, sorry, I can go on and on, but you get the point. You're so surrounded by that, it actually makes you ask yourself, how many people wake up happy? How many people on the bus, the tube, driving in their cars, in schools, are actually happy? Or have energy, or are looking forward to anything in their day, anything that isn't the end of the day. And actually the funniest thing of all is that if you say something to someone or do something kind of happy or kind or something positive, some kind of action that exudes any kind of outgoing energy, it's almost like surprising. Like it catches you off guard. Oh my God, someone here's awake. I thought we were all zombies. It's crazy and terribly sad. And yes, of course, we should all be practicing gratitude and be grateful for majority of us having a roof over our heads, healthy bodies, 4 limbs. It's a blessing even in itself to be able to go to work. However, that does not mean that you're not allowed to look in the mirror and say that you don't want this reality anymore, that you want it to change. And today marks the day that you're going to take personal responsibility of your life and make a conscious effort to change things. Now, in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 4 things that you would be doing that would change your whole life if you weren't depressed with your reality, and how your environments and surroundings are intentionally depressing you to keep you slaving away. And I'm also going to be giving you solutions and ways that you can become more self-aware to change your reality and turn your life around. Now, this video is going to be a bit of a longer one, but I'd recommend every single one of you watches to the end to see all 4, because they all apply to everyone, no matter your age or life standings. Number 1, I would say most obvious of them all. You would have better relationships with the loved ones around you. You'd live more harmoniously with everyone in your life. Your relationship with your partner would be of higher quality. Your marriage would blossom. You'd feel that spark that you've been trying to reignite for years. Your business partners would prosper in your presence. You'd have a more durable social battery, and you'd enjoy socializing with higher value friends more. It's very simple. The happier people are, the kinder they tend to be, which tells you a lot about rude people. Very unhappy inside, and therefore about society as a whole. Why people are so aggressive, why they're spiteful, intolerant, and almost repellent to any kind of happy, positive, understanding coexistence. There would be less cheating, there would be less dating culture, because people would be more communicative and willing to change and willing to invest energy into being a better person, better sibling, better child, mother, father, wife, husband, whatever it is. And they'd look beyond seeking every single little short-term pleasure that gives them a little dopamine hit and a little escape from the lives they hate. This goes far deeper than just what it seems on a surface level. I think it's fair to observe how much the nuclear family and how our personal relationships and the importance of them are actually plummeting in terms of priority in modern society. So since these facts are clear, yet there's nothing being done to relieve the pressure, it begs the question, are we being deliberately set up to be surrounded by depression exuding environments in order to deter us and cause us to forget what we as humans hold dearest to our hearts and need in order to survive above all else? Our family and loved ones. Perhaps it's all in place to disturb the continuation of the nuclear family by making it feel like more of a burden rather than a beautiful thing that needs nurturing and energy and attention more than our job or career. But how can it seem like this to the average individual when the average individual is too busy worrying about not being homeless next week if they don't work, so they have to slave away in order to pay the bills, waste away all their energy doing that, and in doing so they come home with nothing left in the tank, irritable, end up arguing with their partner, their parents or their children, and because of number 1, the lack of energy, and number 2, the lack of truthful source like videos like this one, you become blinded by the aggro at home, and you end up antagonizing your family and thinking that they're the enemies, which to someone who hasn't been taught anything about self-control, family morals or self-awareness to understand their reality, oftentimes results in infidelity. When in reality, the energy that you, as a consequence of the society we live in, that energy that you have to invest at work in order to pay the bills, there's none left of to put into your family and relationships. But it should actually be the complete opposite way around. And that's not even to begin with how much they're playing around with the food that they're selling to you on the shelves, and the water in the taps, and the testosterone reducing, estrogen boosting chemicals that you're consuming that are, number one, reducing your energy in order to achieve all of what I've just said in the above, but also cancering and defertilizing humanity on a daily basis. Not to mention depression is directly damaging to testosterone production and women's cycle and fertility. Just something to bear in mind for now. Number 2, self-improvement would be taught as a life necessity. People would actually want to improve themselves. When you're depressed, your energy levels are low. That's just a fact. Your body isn't secreting the hormones it should. Actually, feeling depressed messes with your body's chemicals on so many different levels, and that's not even beginning to discuss just how messed up they probably already are as a result of the food and drink that you're consuming on a daily basis. But not to go too deep into that, that's not what we're doing today. The sad reality of the world is that most people are aware that they need to be better. Creators like me and many others who speak out about personal development and self-improvement and all the rest of it, we're not underground creators anymore. I'd argue we're the loudest we've ever been, which is great. But to the average person, it doesn't matter, because they're so caught up in this daily madness going on around them, in this perpetual loop of doing the work, doing the job, antagonizing the loved ones, and it gets to the point where it literally destroys their will to improve. It damages the dreams, and it gets to the point where the only thing you live for is a moment's peace or little dopamine shots, and we'll get into that more shortly in a second. But sadly, these moments of peace can be some of your most detrimental, notorious, and ungodly activities and habits, like drugs, alcohol, cheating, sex culture. But in this state, you can literally have yourself convinced that you don't want to improve. Like, there's no point. And it gets to a point where you're practically going through your life, through the motions, simply because you don't possess the mental fortitude and capabilities to withstand and push through the short term by getting out of your comfort zone, going above and beyond for the greater good. That's where your food and physical activity comes in, If you're eating right and working out, you regain that willpower and energy, I'll say that. Number 3, earning money would be treated as something more positive and easier to attain. The current world we live in convinces us that wanting money is greedy, ungodly, and something to be looked down upon if you go out of your way to make sacrifices and work in order to earn more money. When in reality, it happens to be one of the things that, if you possess enough of, gives you access to higher quality nutrition, lifestyle, and enables you to invest more of your time into things that truly matter to you as a human, like families, relationships, and our own personal, mental, and physical development. When you wake up, you start realizing that phrases like money doesn't bring happiness were artificially ingrained into your way of thinking to antagonize money from you and create the connotations for it that you have in your brain, and you're poor and depressed because of it. I don't see any of the rich giving their money away. Now, yes, the majority of people you associate in your mind of this world as the rich are under no circumstances people of inspiration, and the things they've done with their money, and actually even the means by which they've earned their money, are probably more often than not demonic and satanic. But that does not mean there aren't extremely wealthy people out there who've worked their asses off honestly and in a smart way, and in ways that aren't taught to you in the mainstream prescribed system, that has allowed them to live a freer, more expensive, higher quality lifestyle and enabled them to have higher quality relationships with their loved ones. I've started doing TikTok automation as a tiny thing on the side, investing just 30 minutes to an hour on a daily basis, and I'm doing a TikTok series, Daily Journey, on here, going from 0 to 5 figures and giving away everything I earn from it, just to prove to you guys that anyone can make money from their home if you think outside the box. That's just an idea. There are countless things that you could be doing. Number 4, you'd indulge in less activities that you've convinced yourself are your hobbies or your entertainment or your downtime, but are in reality very detrimental habits and short-term pleasures that you, as a consequence of your reality that you hate, you've become reliant on and addicted to, and you use solely as an escape from your daily life that you've learned to so profoundly hate. All these little, or big actually, things in your everyday life to give you temporary distractions and dopamine shots to make you feel something, because everything else in your life is causing you nothing but numbness. So you indulge in other people's lives like celebrities, because the shit show they're scripting, staging, and acting out from you, from the pictures they post to the TV shows they document and sell it to you as reality, is so entertaining, and it distracts you for an extra hour every day. Other examples: Netflix binging, eating takeout, smoking weed, smoking normal cigarettes, endless social media scrolling, drinking, regular nights out, seeking validation on social media, socializing with people you don't even like. And unfortunately, it goes so far deeper than just personal problems, because of your deep internal dissatisfaction with your own life, your actions start to even affect those around you. You lose the ability to have true relationships with people, and very commonly results in infidelity with your partners and ruined marriages. How many times do you see couples that seem so loved up with each other and people around them are all saying they're incredible and they wish they had a partner like that and commenting on them saying they're incredible and they're definitely going to get married. And then a few years down the line you hear, oh, you know, the spark faded, or life got in the way. You ask them individually how satisfied they are with their own individual lives, you'll get every answer you need to understand why it happened, what happened. Once you eliminate this idea of depression and feeling down, when you recognize that it's being placed on you on purpose to destroy your purpose, to destroy your relationships, to destroy your health, and to keep you zombified, to keep you sleeping, to keep you in this dream state and this perpetual looping of same day every day, you gain a whole new perspective on what you're actually supposed to be doing on your day-to-day life. Once you gain this vision in your head of how you actually look from the side in your dream state, you have this awakening moment where you're like, hang on, what the fuck am I actually doing? I'm trying to cause as many people as possible to have this moment. I never come out on here and say, quit Netflix, never watch it again, quit fast food, quit takeouts. No, bruv, everything in moderation. Humans are built. Our psychology is formed around reward-based work. So sure, do an honest 16-hour day work where you dedicate your time to your job, your family, your health, and your personal projects. And then go watch some bloody Netflix, bruv. Scroll TikTok, get a takeaway, go out with your mates. But you should enjoy these activities as a result of knowing inside yourself that you've got a hard day's honest work behind you. Then you enjoy the stuff. But the problem is, if 99% of people are honest with themselves, most people are doing all these shit habits in abundance and these supposed things that they're doing to enjoy, they're not actually enjoying them anymore. Why? Because they haven't earned it. Your brain knows it hasn't had to push itself to get that. You've just learned to rely on its permanent accessibility and convenience to save you and distract you from the reality that you're so consistently desperate not to face. Everything's being provided for us in the modern day far too easily. A life that is just enough to keep us surviving in our bank accounts. Just enough to keep our stomachs full. Just enough so we're occupied on entertainment when we're not working. All to distract us from actually taking responsibility and leveling up. And this is why I speak about how damaging UBIs are going to be and 15-minute cities. Humans will be purposeless. Depression will be in abundance. Truly happy people will be a rare occasion. And you'll look at me like an idiot and say, oh, don't be ridiculous. 15-minute cities are going to save me from having to trek to work 2 hours every day. So they sell that to you, and that seems like a great selling point. It seems logical and positive and it makes sense. But you don't ever ask yourself, why are you having to travel that far to work for that job that you probably don't like for that amount of hours, for that amount of pay that is almost definitely not enough? You don't ask those questions. Everything is intertwined. They're creating this shit show of modern day slavery in people's lives and then creating inside systems, inside that shit show to make it more convenient for you inside the system so you forget about the root of the problem and then you get won over with some sort of campaign they promote, tricking you into thinking that they're on your side. It's like a robber breaking into your house, crashing down all the stairs and saying, don't worry, I'm here to help you, here's a ladder. Think. Alright, all these corporations that I call misfortune feeding leeches, they would all fall apart if everyone took to themselves. Celebrity culture and mainstream media would no longer have a place in society, and they would no longer be able to shove their satanic music and other forms of propaganda down your throat and indoctrinate and sexualize the youth. Food corporations that are sister companies of the pharmaceutical industries that benefit from your illness, intentionally poisoning you, so that they can sell you medication, would simply go bust. Entertainment industries that promote demonic, degenerate sex cult promoting bullshit would perish. The celebrities who rely on you watching and engaging with their shit, following them, worshipping them, and then copying them because the majorities think it's trendy to follow. So because everyone else is doing it, you have to follow. Otherwise, you're insecure and you feel like a black sheep, and everything else in your life has made you so weak, so you aren't comfortable and you're not able to stand alone and say, no, I'm not going to wear makeup exactly like everyone else and wear the exact same dusty drip and be a weirdo if I don't have my tits half out at this party, and do the same dusty poses as she does in her selfies and have a 15 body count by the time I'm 18 like he says I can. If everyone took individual responsibility of their lives and found external purpose, something that gets you gassed to wake up in the morning, something that turns your head and opens your eyes away from all the bullshit, it would all just fade. It would disappear, bruv. There'd be no cancelling, there'd be no headlines in the media, no controversy, nothing. People would just be too busy looking over there, dealing with their own shit, and all that rubbish would disappear. You'd veer from consumption and you'd turn to creativity. People say this all the time. Oh, you need to stop consuming. You need to be more creative. You need to create more. That doesn't work. You can't take a terminal consumer and just tell them to create more. Bleat in their faces as much as you can. Trust me, your life will change for the better if you consume less and create more. They're not going to change. They need a reason to. They need understanding of why they live the way they do and a clear set out path of how it needs to change. When you understand that this world functions and relies on a depressed society, one whose mental health is so exhausted from all the bullshit that's being shoved in our faces and deteriorated from past experiences, as well as never-ending cycles of stress as a result of the society and lifestyle that they forced on us, you gain a new perspective of every individual you walk past. Now, the good thing for us is that no matter what's in the pipeline for us as individuals and as a species, our lives are always in our control. It's down to you. As hard as this prospect may seem, it really is completely in your hands to change your reality, to take your life by the bollocks and mark today as the day you're doing things different. To say to yourself, I'm done repeating the same day over and over again, hoping for a different outcome and exploiting convenient yet misfortune feeding industries to distract myself from the permanently present, ominously elusive cloud in the back of my mind telling me that if I do not, I will forever continue to manifest the same repetitive, depressing reality that forces me to slave away and repel abundance of the things I most deeply desire. Yeah, that was cold. That was a cold take. I'm a happy guy.